How can policy help poor households? Politicians debate their pet programs all the time, arguing about how generous they should be with your money and the potential unintended consequences of their ideas. Overall though, current policies might best be described as income-based approaches to reducing poverty. Governments try to improve the finances of poor households through welfare programs, tax breaks and credits, minimum wage laws, and subsidies for housing and healthcare. Even supposedly new and radical ideas like job guarantees, universal basic income, or Medicare for all are predicated on the idea that certain households just don't do well from market-based activity and therefore require government assistance. But has this way of thinking left a huge blind spot? Many existing interventions by federal, state and local governments raise the price of important goods and services really significantly, and this really does raise the cost of living for the poor. The need for government assistance stems in part from these damaging policies, not markets. Let's take just two examples. Local land use and zoning regulations constrain housing supply. That makes housing more costly, but also makes it more difficult for poor households to move to good job opportunities. State-level childcare staffing regulations reduce the number of centres in poor areas. That not only increases prices to parents, but it makes it much more costly for them to return to work. In fact, in almost every market where the poor spend large amounts of money, government policies make life more difficult for them. From mandates and regulations raising food prices and the cost of driving, all the way through to tariffs raising the cost of clothing and footwear. Rather than dreaming up new programs to compensate people for this damage, wouldn't it be better to actually step back and undo it? Liberalisation and regulatory reform of markets in all of these areas could significantly reduce the cost of living, potentially saving poor households thousands of dollars per year. By making the economy more efficient, it could raise market wages too, and all without the need for more government spending or new risky interventions. For too long, politicians have seen alleviating poverty as something that happens after market-based activity has taken place. But freeing markets in these areas is both an important and an underused weapon in the battle against poverty. I'm Ryan Bourne from the Cato Institute. For more details on what could be achieved in this area, read my paper, Government and the Cost of Living, at cato.org today.